Most developers use AI as a glorified autocomplete. They use it to write a regex or a quick boilerplate function. But what if your AI assistant could actually refactor an entire legacy monolith? We're talking about moving from a 10-year-old big ball of mud to a scalable microservices architecture. I've spent years in the trenches of enterprise software. I've lived through the horror of 50,000-line classes and the nightmare of circular dependencies. Here is the reality. In 2026, being a senior engineer isn't about knowing the syntax. It's about how you orchestrate AI to handle the heavy lifting of architectural migration. Today, we're going beyond the snippet. I'm going to show you the exact workflow to use AI assistants to map dependencies, isolate domains, and extract microservices without breaking production. By the end of this video, you'll stop treating AI as a typewriter and start using it as a technical architect. Let's dive in. Let's be honest, most of us are babysitting a monster. The legacy monolith. You know the one, 10 years of temporary fixes, spaghetti code that defies logic. You want to modernize, you want microservices, but the risk, it's paralyzing. One wrong cut in the code base, and the whole system collapses. And the manual effort is soul-crushing. Mapping dependencies, untangling tight coupling, writing thousands of lines of glue code just to move one function. Here's the real tragedy. You're probably using an AI assistant right now, but you're using it as a fancy autocomplete. You're asking it to write a unit test or a regex. That's like using a supercomputer to calculate a tip. While you're stuck in maintenance mode, digging through digital ruins, your competitors are shipping. They aren't just coding faster, they're architecting smarter. The gap between coder and architect is widening. If you're still manually decoupling services in 2026, you're not just falling behind, you're becoming a bottleneck. So you're tired of dealing with legacy monoliths. They're messy, hard to maintain, and a nightmare to scale. What if I told you there's a way to refactor these monoliths into microservices, making them more efficient and easier to manage? Enter AI coding assistants like Kite or Tabnine. These tools are not just about autocomplete, they can actually help you refactor entire code bases. Imagine being able to break down a massive monolith into smaller, independent services, each with its own database and scaling capabilities. This is the power of AI-assisted refactoring. With the right tools, you can identify areas of the code that are tightly coupled and then use AI-driven suggestions to break them apart. For instance, Kite's AI can analyze your code and suggest microservices architectures, complete with API endpoints and data models. And with Tabnine, you can get real-time code reviews and suggestions, ensuring your refactored code is clean, efficient, and scalable. But how does it work? Essentially, these AI assistants use machine learning algorithms to analyze your code, identify patterns, and suggest improvements. They can even help you identify areas of technical debt and provide guidance on how to pay it down. The result, a more modular, flexible, and scalable architecture that's easier to maintain and extend. So, how can you get started with AI-assisted refactoring? First, choose an AI coding assistant that fits your needs, such as Kite or Tabnine. Then, integrate it into your development workflow and start analyzing your legacy code. From there, use the AI-driven suggestions to break down your monolith into microservices and start building a more modern, efficient architecture. The benefits are clear: improved scalability, reduced technical debt, and a more maintainable code base. And with the right tools, you can achieve all this without having to start from scratch. So, what are you waiting for? Start exploring the world of AI-assisted refactoring today, and take the first step towards transforming your legacy monoliths into modern, microservices-based architectures. Now, doing this manually is a nightmare. That's where the right tooling changes the game. I've been using Kite AI and Tabnine to handle the heavy lifting. Instead of just completing a line, I use them to map complex dependencies and suggest clean breakpoints for my services. The result, I cut my refactoring time by 40%. More importantly, the risk of breaking production during migration plummeted. You stop fighting the syntax and start focusing on the architecture. If you want to stop dreading your legacy codebase, check out Kite and Tabnine. I've put the links in the description below. Grab them and start decoupling your monolith today.